I don't know what number we're at. Of course, I'm muted while this happens. But that is the blue axolotl I have been waiting for this entire time. Come here, buddy. What did it even take? It was a light blue and a pink axolotl. I don't think the colors actually have to do anything with it. Give me a second. I'm actually very curious now. That was literally the fourth attempt today on breeding an axolotl. Oh God. I usually don't commentate like in the beginning part of these episodes because this is like the little montage section. But you do not want to know how many axolotls I've bred to get to this point. But in case you do, the answer would be 824, which, in all honesty, that's actually lowballing it a bit due to the fact that I know that we had 100 axolotls perish because of an enderman that took the block out here and all them kind of fell into the ravine down here where they died. But that means I'm actually done breeding axolotls for a bit. I'm gonna go ahead and put this somewhere safe though so it can grow up. So yeah, back to the montage of what I'm doing to prepare for this week, I guess. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Minecraft Let's Play series, week 43. How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well this week. I could be doing better, but honestly, that's just par for the course. And I say that because, as I usually do the little montage in the beginning of the episode, you may have seen that I went ahead and tried curing some zombie villagers, because I was going to try and go ahead on this list. I'm just going to show you guys really quick. I had trial chamber on here, because I was like, okay, yeah, sure, let's try and do a trial chamber this week. All three villagers did not have a trial chamber map, and I just kind of gave up after that point, because that was a lot of time that I wasted. But let's not get distracted by that, shall we? Let's actually get into what we are going to be doing this week. Starting with, on this list, I have the axolotl total. Now, you may also have seen in the beginning that I went and got a blue axolotl. I actually have been breeding these guys for I don't know how long at this rate. I would assume that it's been like 20 weeks by this point, but I might be wrong. And if you come over here, he's just kind of sitting in this pond because I'm waiting for him to grow up. But there we have a blue axolotl. And it only took about 824 attempts. I think it was closer to 900 because 100 of them mysteriously vanished. So because of this, I want to go ahead and finally move the axolotl pond that is over here. This pond right here. Now the thing with this pond actually is that this pond used to just be a regular water source, and I kind of went ahead and put in glass and then put the stone bricks in the little breeding area over there just to kind of go ahead and make it easier to breed back and forth. But now that we have the blue axolotl, I want to move these guys all over to the pond that I made all over there, and also finally get a total for how much of each color I have, because I did actually go ahead and write down how many of each that I took over to that storage pond, but I'd like to get a full total of all of them, because I would like to actually go ahead and make these numbers almost similar, but we'll see. But yeah, that's the first thing on our list. And then the next things we have, obviously I want to do some more villager hall work. I want to kind of go ahead and do something similar that I did for the librarian's room in that building for the other job types, but I know that the back wall of the villagers is going to be essentially the same. So then of course we're also going to be skipping over this. Might as well just delete this now at this rate. So our list now goes from 1 to 4 to 5. I want to spend some time this week trying to get the base changed a bit, because I think I've talked about this in the past. I'm slowly running out of storage in here, and while I do have this down here, it was meant for bulk storage, so I thought about it, and I'm thinking that this place might be going to an extent. It doesn't really fit with the aesthetic in the whole area that I have here, like the whole dark oak, spruce, deep slate copper kind of deal, and I do want to add more buildings into here, so I'm thinking that we start planning out some new buildings to fit the blocks in here. We don't really need the anvil and the smithing table, central because we have those in our little water wheel house. But stuff like the furnaces, all three types of them, I want to make some super smelters. And I think it's now time that we start planning on how we want them to look and how we can implement those into buildings around here. And then finally, I have on here Ender Farm details, and this is just me saying, like, I wanted to go ahead and put like a purple block rim around the circular platform that we made last week, and that's kind of just what I'm talking about. I just want to add that rim around. It'll take a little bit of purple. I think it's like 344 blocks, so that's 344 chorus fruit. You probably have that, but yeah, I want to go ahead and just add that this week. And that is actually the first thing we're going to be doing for this week, so I'm going to go ahead and smelt up a bunch of chorus fruit, and we'll make the purple blocks and head over to the end to go ahead and build the rim around it, just to add some color, you know? Alright, so like I said, we're not going to be doing much with this. I'm just going to go ahead and put these purple blocks around the edge here, and hopefully it'll give it a little bit more color to this whole build, because right now it is just completely white. Alright, there we go. There is the border around there, and let's see how it looks from the sky view. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. But yeah, it is... Oh god, it's a lot of enderman going there. But yeah, no, it honestly looks a little bit better than how it did before, so I'll take it. But yeah, that's all I want to do with this. It's nothing too extravagant. And bridge view, if anyone was curious, that's just how it looks. I do think at some point I might want to go ahead and like put something at the bottom, but for now I'll just leave it as is until I decide what I want to do with the platform, because I want to put in some pixel art, but I don't know how I want to do that yet either. And alright, next thing that I wanted to take care of was the axolotl pond, but I've kind of realized the blaring issue with this, because I wanted to go ahead and move all these guys over to the pond that I have over in that direction. Kind of forgetting that all the buckets are filled with the tropical fish I was going to use to breed them, so I got an idea, it's just not a happy one. Is this cruel? Probably. And alright, now that I have all these buckets emptied, I'm going to go ahead and start totaling up how many of each color we have in here and bringing them over to the pond. So, time to make some trips. And because I know we have most of them as brown, we're going to start with brown. You know, I didn't realize how many brown axolotls I had in this pond until I just pulled out another 100 of them, and I think there's still more in there. Alright, time to drop them in. Welcome to Lag Central. This is what this is turning into. These guys won't entity cram like this, right? Yeah, either way, back to the base to go and grab the other ones. Round 2. Against all the brown ones. Alright, time for blue. Alright, second batch. Part brown, part blue. Well, there's batch 2, and I'm slowly starting to worry for my computer. Not enough, though, to stop. Gathering more axolotls. Because I had an obsession with it that got out of hand. Alright, there's all the blue ones. I think, at least. And I'm gonna go for pink, actually, just because it's the next one that's gonna be gone the fastest. And there's actually all the pink ones too, so now we just gotta get all the yellow ones and then we're done. Give me a second, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I've got enough buckets to get the rest of these guys, because I don't feel like making another trip. I highly doubt 13 is gonna be enough. You ever wonder what 823 axolotls in the same pool look like? You know, neither did I when I started this whole thing. I was really hoping I wouldn't get to this point, but here we are. Oh my god, all of these axolotls is what it took just to get one blue one, which is kind of stupid if you ask me, but oh well. Okay, let me leave before my computer inevitably dies. But now we gotta head over to our actual pond that we had beforehand, and I'm gonna dismantle it so that it is now a regular pond again. However, if you were curious about all the total number of each color, in addition to that one singular blue one we have, there is 263 brown in there, there's 219 yellow, 227 light blue, and 114 pink. You could probably tell which color got the shaft for most of the time due to the fact that, well, for some reason, the game just wouldn't give me any pink ones whenever I bred it with like the different colors. It'd always give me the other colors first. But yeah, now that this thing has served its purpose, it is time to tear it out. Slowly but surely, because I don't have haste over here. You know, this place looks a lot stranger now that it doesn't have any of the bricks or the glass. I've gotten so used to it being like that. But yeah, now the whole pond is back to a somewhat natural state. Obviously, I couldn't bring it back exactly. I also kind of forgot that stone patch in the back, but I'm just going to leave it as is. But yeah, the whole axolotl breeding project is done. But I will be breeding axolotls here and there just due to the fact that I'm going to try and get an even number of axolotls across the board. So not even, but just have the same number of each color, which for the blue ones, that's going to take a while. And the next thing on our list is the villager hall work. Now, I've gone ahead and took some time to design another room for our villager hall, just to go along with the librarians. But I also want to go ahead and do a little bit of work on each of the quadrants we have, basically putting in the backs, because the backs are going to be the one thing that stays consistent through all of them. So we're going to go ahead and work on that really quick. But first, I need to gather materials. And alright, now that we are here, this is actually the blocks that I brought with us. As you could probably guess, we're going to be working a lot with wool and stone types, and that is because the part of the villager hall that I want to work on today is this one over here, the one with the shepherds and the masons. So we're going to go ahead, get a place built here, but first, like I said, I want to go ahead and put this backing into each one of these areas, because as you can see, it's not the same right here as it is over here. So I'm going to go ahead, build this, and then we'll get to work on this room over here. And there we go. There is all the backings added for every room now. I also went ahead and added the stone bricks up there to cover over those villagers because we got like the ice here covering over these villagers. But yeah, so now we have just like here, the backings are in here and the stone bricks are above these villagers. So yeah, now that we've got that done, it's time to go ahead and actually work on building the room behind us, just like we did for this. Alright, now first, actually, there is one thing I want to change, and that is the andesite lining on these rooms, because it's going to conflict with the floor that I'm going to place in here. So I guess we'll just go ahead and replace these. And there we go, now that we've changed these to deep slate, now we can actually get to work on this. And because I made such a big thing about making this out of deep slate, why not let's make the floor first. And there we go, there's the floor of this. I know it doesn't look too appealing, but it's also, it shows us what is here, like what's on this floor, because that's what I'm kind of going for. Kind of like how we had all the bookshelves for librarians, because we're going to try and show that this is for the masons, and then up there we're going to try and show that it's for the shepherds. And now I think it's a perfect time to just go ahead and change the walls in here so that we actually know what we're building with. And there we go. I think that gets the point across that we're working with masons, don't you think? All the different stone types, at least. The ones that are not just deep slate and regular stone, so I don't know. I think it looks nice. So now I'm going to take this off and we're going to go ahead and build the second floor. And there we go. There's the floor done. I went ahead and kind of just did something similar that I did over here. As you can see, it's the darker color, then the lighter color, stone bricks, and then the fence on top, which is exactly what we have over here. Darker color, lighter color, stone bricks, and then the fence on top. I went ahead and did some different wood types, but still kind of the same idea. And I also went ahead and did the dark oak as well as birch combination, due to the fact that I actually really like this combination just because it just kind of reminds me of art for some reason. Like the easels, the palettes, just things like that. This is usually the colors you'd see, and I think the nice contrast goes well with it. All right, and now we're finally just going to work on this wall, and this wall is just going to be a bunch of random colored wool with a smooth quartz stair border right here, because I thought that this would just work out the best for the type of stair I wanted. So yeah, let the random block placing commence. And there we are, the chaotic mess that is the floor of the shepherds. But I kind of like it. It doesn't remind me a lot of like that error screen that you had on TVs. But this incorporates every color of wool, and I thought that was fitting for the shepherds. So yeah, this is what the top floor looks like. This is what the bottom floor looks like, and I think they both look pretty good for their self-respecting job site blocks. But yeah, that is all the work I actually want to get done on the villager hall this week. Not too much, just going ahead and setting the backs up for all the rooms as well as detailing this room. So now we are halfway done with detailing the rooms, but I've been saving. Well, that one was all one block. This is 2 job site blocks. That one back there is 3, and this one is too many. So yeah, you can probably guess why I've been saving the other ones. But that's all right. That's for another time. Let's go ahead and head back to our base. And now that we're back, funnily enough, we're not going to be doing anything else in this world. And you might be wondering what I'm talking about with that. And let me just explain with this book. The last thing that we have on this list is the base work right here. And you might see in all caps I said we need space. And I'm talking about this. Our little base of operations, I guess, that has a lot of chests. It's got a lot of chests down here too. This was supposed to be for bulk storage, but at this rate, I might have to go ahead and start actually like taking them and using them for just regular storage if I don't find a new solution, which is what I want to talk about for the rest of this episode. Which, if you guys don't want to hear me blab on about plans for the future, I would suggest just heading out. Thank you for watching, because it's all just going to be me talking. But to do that, we actually need to head over into some test worlds that I have been using for the series and just for Minecraft in general. So I will see you guys over there. All right, and here is our first thing that I actually want to talk about, and I'm going to go ahead and leave these to be short. So you may remember that something in our base is a bunch of furnaces. There's 5 furnaces, 5 smokers, and 5 blast furnaces. Now, the thing with those is that it's quite nice to just be able to throw those stuff in there and have them smelt, but it does still take a while, especially when I'm using like stacks upon stacks of glass. So I wanted to go ahead and fix that issue, and I thought, okay, let's make a super smelter. But I didn't want it to be just a regular super smelter. I wanted it to, actually fit into the aesthetic. So I was like, all right, what type of building process can we do? And I was like, okay, this was my first thought with, just having a wall of furnaces that you would be able to go ahead and put items into a chest. As you can see, it's up here, put coal into a chest, and then the items would drop out into here. And you can see I did actually go ahead and test this, but this was me trying to figure things out. And I'm going to be honest with you, this isn't that great. First off is I have the hopper minecarts here immediately on a hopper. So anything that gets put into here immediately just gets dropped into the smoker. This one right here, everything gets put in here, even though I want it to be separated out. And by the way, I also counted up how many smokers are here. I want to have at least 8 so we can do a stack of items pretty quickly. This is 16. There is 6 over here, 4 over here, 6 over here. But yeah, this was a failed attempt, in my opinion. It's not horrible, it just doesn't work as well as I want it to and wouldn't look as good. Then the other thing was I had this, where there's a chest, it's our input chest, and we would go ahead and there are 2 hopper minecarts right here. And the nice thing about this, let me put like a stack of pork chops into my inventory, or let me even just, here, let's see if this has any. Like, none of these hoppers have anything, right? So if I put this much pork chops into here, they should evenly divide into both hoppers, which then evenly divides them into the 8, right? So that would also work. But then you have the issue of it doesn't really look that nice. It's one of those things where we just drop the items into here. This was my plan for coal, by the way, which did not work out well at all because it just kept bouncing back. And then I just have a minecart down here just completely doing circles to try and put the pork chops into here, which this actually doesn't work that bad. But I feel that if I'm going to do this, I need to figure out a better plan because I tried figuring out things that it would work for this and I just couldn't come up with anything good. So we do have a super smelter in the works, but right now I want to figure out a good design for it. But even though this may have failed in the little time that I actually spent on this, I think I spent like a couple hours trying to figure this out and I still was just racking my brain because I've never really used Rails. There is one other thing that I wanted to see if we can implement into our world, and I'll get to that now. And here we are in the other thing that I was thinking about building. So this is actually a storage room I used in the past, and it has a lot of things. Now, of course, not all the item frames are actually filled out, but I'll just take you through a quick tour. Here's all the wood types, including spaces for the 2 wood types in the nether. Over here is overworld, dirt, stone, deep slate, stuff like that. We got our valuables chest over here with diamonds, iron, gold, copper, redstone, lapis, coal, stuff like that. Our color items, glass, wool, terracotta, clay, banners, beds, candles, whatever you want. Our mob drops from both the overworld and the nether as well as the end. Our farming items, stuff like sugarcane, cactus, wheat, potatoes, beef, or just animal drops in general are all right here. This is kind of our miscellaneous section. As you can see, there's disc up there. This is for pottery sherds. Then you got the crafting materials and the banner patterns, equipment and armor right here, and then of course there is the armor trim, our potion wall for every type of potion that is in the game currently. More miscellaneous stuff. There is redstone here, decoration blocks, stone variants, light blocks, a bunch of things that I'm just not going to go over at the moment. I'll go into more detail when we actually do this. Nether blocks, and then more miscellaneous blocks that kind of have their own theming. So yeah, this is a storage room, but I don't want to do this exact storage room, even though this one works out pretty well, and the labeling for all of the chest work out, but I want it to be more in the style of our whole base, especially due to the fact that our base is more built around copper and dark oak. And actually most of the blocks here are very similar to that. We're just missing the copper and dark oak, but I want it to feel like it actually belongs in our base. But yeah, I want to make a building for a storage system, and I might base it off of this, but it will have our own touch. But sadly, that is all the time I had for this week. I was kind of busy during this week, so I apologize if this episode ends up being a little bit smaller than the rest. But I was very busy with prepping for things and actually moving, so yeah. Nonetheless, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. We at least got some work done on our villager hall, as well as doing some small details with the axolotl pond, as well as our enderman farm. And then of course we now have ideas for what I want to build around here, and we might even be getting rid of this in the future, who knows. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. You guys take care, have a great week, and I will see you guys hopefully in the next one. All right, bye bye.